Happy new moon to you. We have the new moon in June 24, 2017. And this is your new moon reading for the month of June. I already pulled out a card and while I was talking, and the first card that came out of this deck for the new people watching, this is the Babylonian Tarot Oracle card deck that I use for most of my readings, and I will continue to do most of my readings with this card deck because it's high in demand. Everybody's emailing me, sending me messages that stick to this. It resonates with what I do, so that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm giving back to you. All right, the 10 of Discs, completion. Okay, so if you've been watching this channel for a few months, a few years, or even just the last month ahead, you'll find that there is a cycle that takes place, or a pattern that's been taking place for everyone. Okay, we live on a planet where everybody feels very similar emotions. We're all humans. We all experience life. We all experience the ups and downs of life. We have feelings, we have emotions. Whatever happens to the person next to us is going to affect us. And patterns are created. A lot of it is ancestral. A lot of it is decisions or things that have been placed upon us or forced upon us to make or do actions or whatever it is, okay? But starting something new, cleaning the slate, okay, that's the intention. Forget the past right now. Let's just let it go, okay? There's been a lot of releasing that's been taking place. I myself have been through a very big shift again. People that do this work need like 10 people to support them, because energetically alone, because we hold on, we cling, other people's stuff hangs on to us. Okay, if we do ancestral work, our ancestral stuff hangs on to us. So we have to have a good support system because we can't do everything on our own, okay? I've been receiving a lot of emails recently as well that people are, you know, they've set their intentions within the last few months or the last month or so, and in the meantime, they're not really seeing clear of what is ahead of them, okay? Now, if you're somebody that, like me, who is a know-it-all, and when I say I'm a know-it-all, it means I like to know what's happening in my life. If I'm put in a situation, if I'm put in an organization, and my responsibility is this, let's say, I have a responsibility. I have to know what I'm supposed to do because that's my responsibility. If I hand it over to someone else, I'm going to feel like the results are not going to be what I feel is appropriate for me, the actions that I'm going to have to take after, and the organization as a whole, because I'm placed in this area. And if I was placed in that area and I wasn't having it, I wasn't feeling it, the responsibilities wasn't suitable for my dream, my goal, my characteristics, my skills, and my abilities, either I would have to be patient where other people can see what my skills and abilities are, or if they're not seeing it, if they're not listening to it, I'm gonna have to leave and create or to move forward in another direction that is suitable for me, okay? So as an example with that story, with that example there, you know, when I talk about myself, it's only because I want to kind of give you an advice of what, how humans as a whole, we can relate. It's not because it's like me, but it's more so of giving you an example if you're going through something, what to do in a similar situation, okay? That takes part in relationships and family too. So if you're at that stage and you're letting go of all that and you want to begin anew, you got to let it go, right? You got to let it go, but you don't want to get rid of everything because you want to hold on to what you know is suitable for you. And how do you know what is suitable for you? By now, you should be able to detect and see what you're good at, where your heart's at, You know, if you feel for people, if you want to get into, or if you are in social work or anything of that nature, if you're into human rights, you know what your passions are, because human rights is so broad. You could be human rights for anything, okay? But what is it that you're so passionate about, okay? Hold on to that, and when you hold on to that, you know, you want to create a dream board, or you want to start off doing something that is similar. Does that make any sense? Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to show you something. Let's show you something. And I want to show you this. This is just a tiny little piece of a dream board, but it's on a wall. Okay? Now, as someone who is a human rights advocate, spreading awareness and educating the public or those in your organization or community is, of course, the first step. I'm not going to get into too much detail about that right now, but the point is, start off with a dream board, okay? Start off with, if you have a magazine or like a journal, I mean, cut out pictures, print them out, or if you see them in a magazine, anything that bothers you, if you see newspaper, if you see crimes, things are happening, if you're all about children or women or the youth or drug overdose or alcohol or this or that, whatever it is, cut it out and create your own magazine, okay? Put it in a journal, or go to the dollar store, buy like $1 worth of like paper, create your own vision board, okay? When you look at this every day, you will start to notice, you will every day slowly start taking actions towards creating that into a real life thing. Of course, you gotta make sure your throat chakra is cleared first, because you want to verbalize what your passions are and connect with those who share the same passions, okay? Social media is all about that right now. So if you don't know anybody, if you can't connect with somebody that you know in the physical, in an organization, if you're somebody that's shy, start off with social media. You got YouTube, you got Instagram, you got Google Plus, you got Facebook, you got Skype, you got the whole 9 yards, right? Love. Love. So, okay, sorry, I kind of got a little distracted with starting this off. But completion is, the card completion is just basically letting you know that a huge cycle, an old cycle is now complete. Okay, so you've learned all the lessons that you needed to learn. You've done all the hard work that you felt you needed to do. Enough is enough. You don't have to keep repeating these things anymore, okay? Unless whatever you're repeating is about nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself. If you have a ritual every day, you have a 10-minute, 20-minute meditation, you like to stroll near the park, and that's your way of getting to work because it's an excuse to have a meditation. Or, you know, you have a meditation in the shower while you do visualizations, or you listen to music on your way to work, or whatever helps you out. Or if you have a spa day, or if you have a regular once-a-week spa day or whatever, and that helps you. If you buy yourself flowers and roses, why not? Okay, it helps with nurturing. But like I said, the new moon, Jupiter has been direct since the last full moon. In Sagittarius, okay? Sagittarius rules Jupiter. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. And we are going to be, until September or something, 2017, luck is on our side, okay? We have a lot of luck coming by, and we want now the new moon to be a cycle of fuck the past. We've learned from the past. Let's do our dream, okay? The good thing is, since Jupiter is on your side and Sagittarius is there in terms of that fiery, action-oriented, you know, I got the orange on, it's all fire. It's time to take actions, okay? Every day slowly. You don't have to go running into it like all unconsciously, you know, but because there's a completion. So that's confirming. It's a confirmation telling you that that cycle, it's complete, okay? 10 is the number that comes after 9, and in numerology, 9 is a completion, Okay, so the last full moon was on the 9th. It was a completion of something. Now we're at 10. 10 is all about starting something anew. Independence, leadership. Aries is also that fiery independent. It's the first sign of the zodiac. And then we've got a 0 next to it because 10, 1, and 0. 10 is a cycle, a new beginning. Put them together. Okay. Just wanted to double check if that came out reversed or not, but it's all good, okay? Here's another indication. 4 of arrows. You know what's funny? Because we had we have the tree. This symbolizes our ancestry, you know, because I was talking about ancestry. And we have another tree. This is your family tree. So this goes back to the whole, you know, people that do this type of work or any type of work, if you're a Reiki teacher or if you just do oracle cards even, everybody and everything, especially in the Western world, lots of work. Everybody has to work. Not everywhere in the world, every single family member has to work, but in North America, everybody needs to work to make it, to pay their bills and to purchase everything they want, okay? So 4 of arrows, rest. This goes to show that you need rest, and don't forget to take your rest, okay? It's important that you rest. That's part of nurturing yourself. A lot of times when you're resting is when your passions come through, or your feelings come out, or you start to acknowledge something is bothering you, or you start to acknowledge what is meaningful to you. Because when we're around a lot of chatter and a lot of actions, we hear other people's opinions. We hear what works. We hear what the laws are and how to go about it. But then we don't, and in order for it to work, we're kind of like, okay, we'll do that. But then when we go home and when we don't rest, we just go and barge and do whatever we do. And then we're like, I'm either exhausted, I'm inflamed, I'm starving, or I'm bloated, I'm overeating, which is what I'm doing lately. I've been overeating in the last few months. It's not a good feeling, but it's keeping me grounded. And anytime I start overeating, or if you see me that like inflamed, because I have natural inflammation, my face will swell, my fingers will swell. If you see me overeating or inflamed, it just means I'm doing a lot of physical work. Okay, and we need rest. Okay, we need rest. So don't forget to rest, because when you're doing this work, you need to rest. Okay, if you're doing any organization stuff, you need that rest. It's important. And this is good. We got the Queen of Discs, Gestinana. I'm not sure if it's Gestinana or Gestinana. This is the Queen of Earth, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. I'm a Taurus, but it's not so much about a person. It can be that somebody, you have an ally in front of you, and this ally is going to be there for you to kind of bump you up in what you need to do, or will be able to understand you a little bit more. Again, if we're doing work, or if we're not, anything. Let me give you more of a broad example. Okay, when we are working with people, and when I say work, it means even socializing, going out to dinner, meeting people, you know, I can have an opinion or feel strongly towards something or someone, even about myself. Forget the human rights right now, or our dreams, okay? Because not everybody is confident enough to share their dreams when it hasn't manifested yet, okay? Let's just say, you know, even if the person that if you have an ally and that person totally gets you, and they're also in that, they have the same view or opinion, her family member or his family member or people in their tribe or group or organization or family may not understand it and get it. Okay, I'm the black sheep of my family. We're the same. A person, it can be that somebody, you have an ally in front of you, and this ally is going to be there for you to kind of bump you up in what you need to do, or will be able to understand you a little bit more. Again, if we're doing work, or if we're not, anything. Let me give you more of a broad example, okay? When we are working with people, and when I say work, it means even socializing, going out to dinner, meeting people, you know, I can have an opinion or feel strongly towards something or someone, even about myself. Forget the human rights right now, or our dreams, okay? Because not everybody is confident enough to share their dreams when it hasn't manifested yet, okay? Let's just say, you know, even if the person that if you have an ally and that person totally gets you and they're also in that, they have the same view or opinion, her family member or his family member or people in their tribe or group or organization or family may not understand it and get it, okay? I'm the black sheep of my family. We're the same blood, okay? And I have abilities and skills that I've adapted and have inherited from every single one of my family members. Every single one. However, my views are very different. My opinions are very different. And my passions, maybe I've taken a bit of theirs, but those passions I directed in a different way because I see things different in certain things. Like my goal is different. So I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but my ancestors were priests, priestesses, freedom fighters, teachers, advocates. They owned vineyards. They owned this. They owned that. Business people, whatever. Okay? So in a fashion, I'm proud of that because we have created something. In a fashion, though, I've always wanted to fight for the injustice that was done to us because we either A, didn't receive recognition for it, someone else stole our stories, someone else stole our riches, someone else stole our businesses and completely tried to wipe us off the planet, or because we're genocidal survivors like my family. Okay? So I'm very passionate about that justice. So is everybody else in my family. However, my eyesight towards this justice and what I'm planning to do with it is completely different. Okay? So that's just another example as to what you are here to do or what you feel resonates. Okay? Yeah? So there is an earth sign that is on your side. It doesn't have to be a person, but it can also be that whatever you have the ability to make it come to life. Okay? Here in Canada, it's only recent, but if you go to fill out any paperwork, if you go to the doctor, if you go to the emergency, if you go to school, you have to fill out paperwork. And in the paperwork, it's going to ask you, what is your sex? Male, female, and you check it off. And then it says, prefer not to disclose, or it says transgender. Okay? However, a few years back, you wouldn't have seen that transgender. So someone advocated that. It was a human rights advocate who advocated that transgender must come and be put into a system, a governmental system, an organization, okay? So if you are brave and you have courage and you're willing to do something and you have a passion and you see so much injustice and you want something to whatever it is that you're passionate about, because there's a lot of people here that fight for transgenders and pride, you know, gays and lesbians, you know, or human trafficking or whatever. What is your passion? You don't have to do exactly what they're doing because there's other things that you can fight for to have justice or to come to light that people should have recognized in a system. Legalized. Do you get what I'm trying to say? What is your passion? I'm leaving that up to you. What is your passion? Because during this new moon, What is it? The new moon is, what are we in? It's going to be, what, Cancer? Cancer and something. Cancer, Capricorn, polar opposites, right? So Cancer is a very watery sign, very emotional, very motherly, very nurturing. It's a water sign, so water is all about pregnancy, intuition, cleanliness, cleanliness. Cancer is all about that too, about being clean and stuff like that. Not like Virgo. Virgo's more of a neat freak. But there's a difference between the two. You know, the cycles of the moon, because the moon is governed by Cancer and vice versa. The crab. So if you happen to be near a beach or an ocean and you happen to see a crab, take that as a sign, okay? As a good luck. But, and you'll remember me for saying that. And then Capricorn is the water goat. Okay, so we got that 2 water, you know, although Capricorn is an earth sign, it's still a water goat. Like, people assume Aquarius is a water sign because it's a man holding a water bearer and the water is flowing downwards, but it's not a water sign, it's an air sign. So Capricorn is a water goat, but it's an earth sign. And Capricorn, the goat, is all about hard work. Working, working, working non-stop, and very practical. Taurus is very practical. Taurus is the first earth sign. But there's differences between the way a Capricorn works and a Taurus works. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is all about pushing it, is all about that power. Venus is all about, I want to be beautiful, or I want to be nature oriented, okay? So Taurus, the way he or she takes care of themselves will be, let's go out to dinner. Let's go have a girls' night out. Let's have fine wine dining. Let's go to an orchestra or a concert, an outdoorsy, you know, have a picnic outside. Rather, Capricorn will show up in like a business suit, man. Or if not, just if he's like a mechanic, he'll just show up in his gear all dirty with like black nails because he's like, let's do this. You know, he's very into his job, his role, and he will not stop. Okay? It's all about bringing in that money, the bacon. So there's not a lot of fun when it comes to Capricorn. But remember remember this. Don't forget. Okay? Because 4 is a secure and solid number. Okay? But in order to be secure and solid, you need your rest, because if you don't, you'll collapse. Make sense? So Cancer is all motherly, nurturing. So, you know, please take time to go near the water. If not, get a vase, get a bowl, and fill it with water, and just stare at it. Listen to waves. If you have earphones, go on YouTube, and honestly, meditations, you don't even have to look up meditations. Sound waves, ocean waves, raindrops, thunder. Thunder is not really, you know, watery, but raindrops, waves, water waves, ocean waves, and then stare at a bowl of water. That's a form of resting too. So, okay, one more card, because I know we've only done 3 cards, but there's a lot that's coming out. And when I usually have a lot to say, it's because somebody's watching that's like, oh my gosh, I need her advice, you know? So, okay, I had 2 cards come out, and I don't want to extend it. It's already 23 minutes. I'm just going to pick one more card, and that's it. I put it back in. Nothing's coming out. Oh, another few cards were coming out. King of Arrows, Elil. King of Arrows. I like this card. I like the color, the artwork. the color coordination. He's got like violet hair. And the arrow's angled, okay? Something, I don't know where this came out directing, but do you guys know what your north and south node is in? Because this is going to ring a bell, okay? If you know where your north and your south node is in your birth chart, if you don't know where, if you've never looked into your birth chart, do a Google search, free online birth chart calculator, okay? You put in your first name, your last name, female or male, the hour that you're born. You have to know what hour you're born in order to calculate lots of stuff in your birth chart. And where you're born, the town, the city, what country and whatnot. And you'll find out where your north and south node is placed in, okay? The north and south node is usually said that this is your ultimate destiny, okay? Whatever sign that you're placed in is in a past life or in an incarnation of someone. If you're not into past lives, there was an incarnation of someone in your ancestry, okay? Could have been most recent or a long time ago, depending on how you want to view it. They lived in a certain way, and because, could be your mom, could be your dad even. They lived a certain way. This is just another interpretation. Doesn't mean it is what it is. I'm just giving you an example. You don't have to take everything I say to heart. Take everything with a grain of salt, okay? Could be, let's say, my mom. My south node is in Libra, okay? Which she's nothing like, but she's an Aquarius, so she has some, you know, because it's an air sign, okay? Libra, in a past life, or it could be like a mother or a father of mine, or even me, you know, I know it was, you know, it was me or whatever, but let's just say you don't believe in past lives. My mom believed that, let's just say she did, that's not true, but let's just say my mom married a very secure man, very business oriented, very well known in the community, very respected, highly honored and very highly respected man in the community. And my mom's role, she was a very strong woman, let's say, very opinionated, very strong woman. However, she chose to be the back woman, to represent her husband. So she chose not to be the front woman, not to get out center stage and to speak, but she chose to be her man's support system. She chose to be her children's support system. This is an example, okay? And because me here in this incarnation as her daughter witnessed this, as a woman, every child, every woman grows up. We have stages of life. We go through the youth. We go through child, the youth. We go through teenage life. We go through early adult life. We, whether we like it or not, we adapt our mother's characteristics because we feel that's what women should be like or act upon like. So it could be that I inherited that, whether I realize it or not. Okay? So that's if you don't believe in past lives, okay? But if you do believe in past lives, my life purpose was that, okay? Or that is how I was like in the life purpose. Doesn't necessarily mean it was your life purpose, but that's how I did what I needed to do in organizations or when we got out in the public or whatever. I chose to represent my husband or to be his support system rather than be the leading woman of the family. Do you get what I mean? So that's the South, that's the past. But what that does is that teaches you, you've accumulated all this energy. But now, remember, we've just completed something. We've finally completed a cycle. We've gone through that completion. We're starting a fresh new beginning. So all that stuff we've experienced in the past and accomplished in the past, it's not us anymore. It's done. So we got to start something new. We got to go through our north node now. Don't even stare at if it's going backwards or frontwards, okay? But sometimes we got to go backwards to analyze. Remember, rest. So the downloads come through and you realize what your passions are. Sometimes I feel like I talk too much, huh? Sometimes I want to break. Honestly, sometimes I want to break and I want to be like, I don't want to do today's full moon or new moon reading because I'm hard on myself. In the public or whatever, I chose to represent my husband or to be his support system rather than be the leading woman of the family. Do you get what I mean? So that's the South. That's the past. But what that does is that teaches you. You've accumulated all this energy. But now, remember, we've just completed something. We've finally completed a cycle. We've gone through that completion. We're starting a fresh new beginning. So all that stuff we've experienced in the past and accomplished in the past, it's not us anymore. It's done. So we got to start something new. We got to go through our north node now. Don't even stare at if it's going backwards or frontwards, okay? But sometimes we got to go backwards to analyze. Remember, rest. So the downloads come through and you realize what your passions are. Sometimes I feel like I talk too much, huh? Sometimes I want to break. Honestly, sometimes I want to break and I want to be like, I don't want to do today's full moon or new moon reading because I'm hard on myself. I can't even watch my videos, not all of them, maybe some of them, because I'm either like, what am I saying? How am I saying? I'm talking too much or whatever. But we are our own worst critics. But that doesn't mean that other people don't acknowledge or appreciate your work. So do it. Do it anyways. Just don't forget to rest. So now I have to be my north node, my Aries, the opposite of Libra, which is, it's not about my man. It's not about my family. It's about what I'm here to do. Okay? Aries is all about me. Aries is all about number one, the first. I want to be recognized. I want my work to be recognized. But in this stage, I don't really come across as a jerk because Libra has taught me, and you could perceive this as my mother. Libra has taught me to be compassionate, caring of another being. And a lot of times when I hear someone speak about something, or if they have a view or an opinion, I take their word into consideration because that is how they feel about it. So I should be caring enough to understand it. But that doesn't mean I have to take it on to me because it's not me. I don't recognize myself as them. Their pain is not me. I can recognize what they've been through, what they had to go through in order to be where they are. And I salute them. However, I'm here to accomplish what I need to do. And the only way I'll know what I need to do is not by another, but it's, recognizing another. Recognizing what my family has done for me, what my freedom fighters have done for me to live, to continue the legacy. So I recognize it and I share what they've been through. I share what they've done on my social media links. But that doesn't mean I'm going to do what they're doing. So a lot of people may feel confused, like, is she doing that too? Yes and no. But being that Aries, I want my own recognition. That doesn't mean I'm all cocky. It just means I'm doing it my own way. Okay? So find out where your north and your south node is placed in, and figure out what it is that you're here to do, okay? And do it. Do it every day. Do it every day. Okay? Thanks for watching. Have a great new moon.